So to review, talked about currency, 180 current currencies across the world. British pound is the oldest that's still in use. All right, so dating back to the 8th century. So there might be some older ones, but that's the one that's still been in use. Okay, so we talked about monopoly, top 8 most tradable currencies. We talked about the European euro, how many countries use the euro. Talked about our 3 types of currency. All right, coin, paper money, and banknote. And our 4th type of currency, cryptocurrency. 3 functions of money: medium of exchange, store of value, unit of account, unit of measure. Talked about our 4 forms of financial exchange: cash, credit, debit, and EFT, electronic funds transfer. So we talked about how you need money to make financial exchanges. Whoa. Sorry about that. So, fundamental principle of money: you need money to make financial exchanges. We talk about barter. When we barter something, we can talk about that we're going to trade my good for your good, or my item for your item. That might be more of a barter style exchange. There's going to be some back and forth. So find need money needed, it definitely helps. I think if you talk about barter, I think that might be a little bit different because I'm talking about trading my item for your item. So do you absolutely 100% have to have money? Barter? No. But 99.9% of the time, yeah, you're going to need money to make that financial exchange. So it is very important to have it. So we looked at preparing bank account documents. We talked about writing out checks, how to write out the front, how to write out the back. We looked at deposit and withdrawal slips. That's what your quiz was about. We looked at endorsement. You don't want to ever sign below the line. There's a couple different ways you can endorse a check. We looked at our websites, how to prepare each one of these. Today we talk about reconciling our bank statements. So we're going to look at Google. We're going to see exactly what it is, and then we're going to talk about, well, why would we have to do this, or why would we need to do this? So click on our link. Takes us over to trusty Google because Google knows everything. We're not always going to trust the first one. All right. We talk about that in other classes. However, on this case, this is pretty close and we're good with this. When you reconcile your bank statement, you compare it with your bookkeeping records for the same period and pinpoint every discrepancy. So what's going to happen? Bank's going to give you your statement. This is from the bank. This is what they're saying happened. You have your records. You need to double check those and make sure they're not right. All right? Not right. Make sure that they are right. Apologize. Make sure they are the same. Okay? You're looking for, like it says, compare with your bookkeeping records for the same period and pinpoint every discrepancy. If there's something afoul, that needs to be fixed. It says, then you make a record of those discrepancies. So you or your accountant, we all have a personal accountant, but someone needs to take that up with the bank to figure out what's going on. Okay. You've noticed a discrepancy that needs to be handled. All right. There's a certain way to go about this process. A bank, whoever your bank is, take this up with them. They will definitely let you know how to go about that. And you need to do it their way. So however you file, you or I have a claim, that needs to be done properly. So, going to look at our Google search here. This was the bench website. Whoops. So, look at bank 5 compelling reasons why bank reconciliations matter. Tedious, yes, they are. There's a lot of paperwork. I mean, you have to put in some numbers, but you want to see your business as it really is. That should give you your reality, exactly where your business is. Track your cash flow. We can see what's going on. One of the big ones, detect fraud. I can look for fraudulent charges. Hey, the bank is saying that they're charging me this $20 and I don't have this on there. All right. This is something, especially with credit cards, you really want to make sure you watch your records to make sure you're not getting any charges on there that you didn't make. All right. That can happen. The bank can show that up too. So make sure that might be your number one, to detect fraud. Make sure nothing bad's going on. To detect bank errors, maybe they've taken money out. Maybe you made a deposit and they didn't put the the right amount of zeros. Seen that happen too. I deposited $100 and the bank side deposited 10. So there's a way to go about that. All right. And it was just they put the wrong number in. So to stay on top of accounts receivable, money we've got coming in. So this is more of if we're operating a business. So let's go back to our Google search. Again, that was the first one here. And there's some other ones that we can look at. Let's go back. So the other one we have, why would we do? So we were looking at some other websites here. I looked at this one, this accountingtools.com, how to reconcile a bank statement. I think this one's pretty good. I'm telling you exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to summarize it as best I can. I think you can read it. So number one, at the end of the month, you're going to get your bank statement. That's going to have everything on it, right? That's going to have your charges, your credits, your balances. Okay. So the big aspect of this that makes this work is you have to be keeping of stuff the same. So if you can't keep records, you're not going to be able to reconcile with your bank. All right. So you have to have some way of keeping your records. And we're going to talk about that as we get going later on. And this is what it match your deposits. Okay, compare the amount of each deposit recorded by the bank. So I'm matching them up. I'm going to compare them. So if there's a difference, that's where you're going to start making your records. Okay, I want to talk about this. So the next thing that we're going to do is match all checks listed. Make a list of your checks that don't go through. Okay, so same thing. We're going to look and see what they have, what I have. If there's any discrepancies, we're going to write those down. On the bank account, you could also have maybe a bounced check, a fee. So we're going to look at those, see if there's any fees or anything going on that we agree or don't agree with. All right. Number 8, add or subtract all recorded items from the bank's ending cash balance for your account. So go through our math process, and then we're going to see, does everything add up? Does mine equal theirs? So that's the process. That's what reconciling is. So if you can't keep records, you don't have anything to compare your bank records to. So I guess the thing that we're really going to focus on later during the semester is that you have to have good records if you're going to do processes like this. And the other thing we looked at on our slides, we talk about, well, why should we do it? And again, I think it goes back to what we talked about before on the other one. We want to make sure that we're in good standing, that we don't think we have $500 and the bank says we have 50. That's a problem. So that's where we would want to reconcile and see what's going on. Maybe the bank says you have 5,000 and you say you have 500. Well, you might have made a mistake in yours and you want to update that, because if you have more money, well, we always want to know if we have more money. So we got to do a good job of tracking those things and making sure we're staying on top of our records.